So, welcome to the second channel, Retro Bits and Bobs. I was just going to call it Retro Bits, but that name has already gone. Now, you may be wondering why I have a second channel. In fact, some other YouTubers are wondering why I have a second channel. And it comes down to I'd like to make some slightly shorter and, to be honest, less complex and time consuming videos. There are occasionally little things I'd like to just talk about for a bit, like a small amount of time. I'd also sometimes like to talk about the YouTube channel itself. And the problem with YouTube is if you make a video like that and put it on your main channel, and most of your viewers aren't that into it because that's not the sort of content they subscribed for, well, then YouTube will punish you. And whatever your next video is, the one that's more like your normal stuff, YouTube won't bother telling people that that thing exists. And the sort of videos I do for the main channel, they take me a really long time to make. I mean, if you don't do this sort of thing, you'd be amazed about how time consuming it is to actually put a video together. Particularly one where you gotta film a bunch of stuff, do a whole bunch of narration and research and all that kind of stuff. Oh god, and then the editing. It'd be safe to say you can easily spend somewhere between 30 to 40 hours on a video. So having the video you spend about an hour and a half on sabotage the viewership for the 30 or 40 hour video, yeah, that doesn't feel great. Hence you quickly learn that little idea you had for a video, the quick one, yeah, it's probably best if you don't do it. So, second channel, so instead of not doing it, I'll do it. So now you know why second channel, time to get on with video 4, said second channel. Now you may have noticed through October and November, there were a lot less videos than normal. And there's a reason for that, I was off having fun. At the beginning of October, I got to go meet up with a whole bunch of YouTubers, who I've been getting quite friendly with on Discord. In fact, you may have seen some of us doing the odd panel together online as we've decided to start doing kind of group videos together, which has been a lot of fun. But in October, we all headed off to the cave to go have a bit of a meet-up, and I was thinking about filming stuff, and yeah, to be honest, I got chatting as soon as I arrived there and then thought, sod it, let's just have some fun. So there's going to be a bunch of still images or some random footage I've found while I talk about this. Now, one of the nice things about getting to meet your fellow YouTubers is, ordinarily, you don't get to talk about this stuff. Because oddly enough, when you pop down the pub, it isn't like just full of random YouTubers. Or at least the retro computing type YouTubers. I don't know. Maybe there's beer YouTubers down there. Who knows? So, while it was a lovely chance to get to know each other, in a non-Discord kind of a way, it was also a lovely chance to share your experiences and find out about other people's too. And it gave me some nice ideas, which I'm going to come back to later. Also, the cave itself, if you get a chance to go and visit it, go visit it. It's a really interesting place with lots of interesting systems all set up for you to play with, but there's also all the other stuff that's there. It's like the version of W.H. Smith's he's managed to build with all the games on the shelves. And with it being part of what they're now referring to as the Retro Collective, there's the arcade museum there that you can go and have a play on a ton of interesting arcade machines. Also, Neil and all the other people there are really nice hosts. But that's not the only place I got to go to. At the beginning of November, I got to go to RetroFest. Now, the internet has been chock full of videos about this, and the only one who didn't do one was me, and I'm going to mention it here, but again, I didn't take any footage. I just really enjoyed talking to people for the weekend. Now, this is not my first RetroFest. I've actually been to quite a few. In fact, I did a video about it at one point, which is the footage I've probably chopped in at this point. I don't know what footage I'm going to use. I'm recording this before I edit it. So you can see the whole low effort thing here? But I've been as someone just visiting RetroFest and had a great time there, and then Tony, who organises it, roped me into being an exhibitor the next year, and, well, I've kept going back. And as much as I enjoy the event itself, and I really do enjoy the event, also, the pub afterwards, yeah, no, that is the best bit. I'm not going to say which pub we go to, but we go there each year, and we have a pretty good time. Of course, visiting places and having fun is not the only thing I've been doing. But talking to my fellow YouTubers, and also everyone at the RetroFest thing, I was inspired to do the next thing, which is actually for the channel. I've got some storage space. Now, two things really kick this off. First of all, there was Reese talking about the space he's recently acquired to act as a studio and as a storage facility, and also a bit of a museum as well. But also, it seemed that every other exhibitor at RetroFest happens to have a storage space as well, and I'm like the only one who doesn't, which explains why my house is full of stuff and I can barely move, and they still have happy partners. In fact, two of them have even gone so far as they're opening their own museum. Yeah, they found a space. They've been building labs and display spaces and all sorts in there. I think Pete may have even replumbed a toilet. There'd been a few beers by this point in the evening. So I may be a little bit hazy on the details. I know though he definitely built something they've been referring to as Mega Bench though. So I've decided to rent this cupboard that you can see in the footage that no doubt I've thrown into the background while I've been talking about this stuff because, it's nice to have some visual context. Also, see, I have no idea what's going to be on screen. This is the lower effort part for you as well. Now, so far I've got no shelving for it, so I've put a couple of computers in there to keep it warm. And I measured the whole space up so I could order some shelving and make much better use of this space. I'd say the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is this thing's got an ongoing monthly cost. So I'm a little bit worried about that, as I don't think anyone's actually made money off YouTube since the mid 2000s, so. Ugh. But I really have got to the point where I do need to find a place to put stuff, because one of the things about running a YouTube channel is it's amazing how many spare parts you need to keep all the machines going that you film and do stuff with. And why I've got space for all the machines that I've got and like to use on a regular basis, for the spare parts, it's a bit of a different matter. And I have found myself picking up stuff occasionally that's more for the channel and less because it's something I want to use on an ongoing basis. So storage space has become a little bit of an issue. Hopefully some of you have been quite entertained by me just sort of chatting away in a fairly casual way and not so much about the history of some system or company or processor. Not all the videos on this channel are going to be like this one. It's going to be a bit of a mixed bag, as I said. But if you think you might want to see just random odd stuff I intend to put out, then hit that subscribe button and hopefully YouTube will inform you that a video has come out. It also may choose not to, based on whether you watched the previous one it told you about. Ah, the curse of the algorithm.